All right, everybody, welcome. Next game in the Colorado Rockies 2025 Rockies Horror Baseball Show season replay. We're at game number 49 here at Coors Field, game 3 of 4 against the Philadelphia Phillies. The Phillies have taken the first two. Last night's ball game was quite entertaining and a solidly pitched game. 2-1, the Phillies won it. That was last night's game. 2-1 belonged to the Phillies. Rockies trying to change their luck in this one. But look at last night's box score. You see Herget went 2 1/3, so Herget's going to be unavailable in tonight's game for the Rockies. But everybody else on both sides out of their bullpen will be available. We have Taijuan Walker, a right-hander, against Carson Palmquist, a left-hander for the Rockies. Look at Taijuan Walker later. Right now, since he's going to the mound, we'll look at Carson Palmquist. Carson Palmquist, he was 0-4 with an 8.91 ERA and 7 starts. Not very good, obviously. Good evening, Paul. Good to see you. With the left-hander on the mound, the Phillies have primarily gone with right-handed hitting. Without the, obviously you're not going to bench Schwarber and Harper, but some of the other guys, the other left-handers like Bryson Stott, Brandon Marsh, and Max Kepler, they're all on the bench. And they would pinch hit against right-handed relievers. So, Trey Turner will lead things off for the Philadelphia Phillies. They come into game 28-20. Rockies come in 16-32, still a +8 because they were 8-40 at this point, real world. So, Phillies won this game real world. I'm not sure the score. I didn't look it up, but I know they swept the 4-game series, so they obviously won the game real world. Not really sure what the final score was. It probably doesn't even matter at this point. Make sure I've got everything here. I'm trying to get as close to the cards as I can without losing anything. So here's Trey Turner. That's a 4-9 against Palmquist, and that's a walk. And, of course, Rockies pitching, known for a lot of walks. And there you go, first one. He is a +9, which means he's a +5 hold, so that means Turner is going to be off to the races most likely. He needs a 2 through 5 or a 12. He doesn't get the lead, so he will hold. And that brings up Bryce Harper, first baseman. That's a 2-8, and that's a strikeout. So Palmquist gets the K on Harper, and here comes the other lefty in the lineup, Kyle Schwarber. But obviously, as you can see on his card, lefties don't bother him. 3-8, and that's another walk. So back, 2 walks and a strikeout. So far, Palmquist having a little bit of issues with the strike zone. Bring up right fielder Nick Castellanos. 6-5, and that's another walk. So the bases are loaded. With 1 out, Palmquist walked 25 batters in 34 innings. And now the bases are loaded for JT Realmuto. Infield playing for the double play. 6-4, and that's a fly ball center field X. We know that Doyle's going to get to it, but with the runner at third, we got to find out if it's an F2 or not. So we're going to roll the D20. It's a 16. That might be an F3. He might have prevented the F2. Let's see here. He's a 1 and a 16. It is an F3, so it's not going to be deep enough to score the run. And he's E3, so the only errors are 3, 16, and 18. And so he makes the catch. It is not deep enough for Turner to tag. So Realmuto is out, 2 outs, bases loaded. Alec Boehm in a clutch situation right off the bat against lefty pitching. He loses a hit 1-2 and 1-12. That's a 2. Chance for a balk or pass ball. We're looking at a balk chance, which is a 0. So no chance of a balk. So we move on to the at-bat for Boehm. 4-8, and that's trouble. 1-7 is going to be a grand slam home run on this 4-8. 8-20 is going to be a double. And that has gone a grand salami for Alec Boehm. How do you like that? Just when we thought Palmquist would get through the inning unscathed, he gives up the grand salami. And just like that, it's 4-0 Phillies here in the first inning. The 4-8 against the right-hander, in home run 1-7, and that's a 6. So that'll bring up Edmundo Sosa, 3-5, and that's a base hit. Hit parade continues. And here comes Weston Wilson. 3-2, and that's a low max, but nobody else is. It was already 2 outs, so they can't get a double play. But a 4-score Abraham Lincoln inning for the Phillies, courtesy of Alec Boehm's grand slam. And we go to the bottom of the first. Phillies 4, Rockies coming to bat. And Taijuan Walker given a 4-run lead to protect. Taijuan Walker, 5-8 with a 4.08 ERA and 21 saves on the 25 season. And he'll be starting out facing Jordan Beck, left fielder. 1-3, and that's going to be a hit by pitch. So he plunks Beck to start the bottom of the first. He is a +2 hold, but Realmuto is a -3 for a -1. So I think Beck still might try to get a lead here. He's 2 through 6 or an 11. He does get the lead. He's got a 5. So he's going to go 17. He inhales a 15, -1's a 14. 1-14, and he steals it. So Beck steals second base. That takes away the ground ball double play. And it'll bring up Ezequiel Tovar. It's a 2-9 for Tovar, and that's a 1-12 triple. 3-20 is 13-20 is a double, so this will score the run either way. It will be a triple for Ezequiel Tovar. That 1-12 is a triple, and that is a triple for Tovar. And back come the Rockies. They cut the lead to 4-1. Tovar had 4 triples in 360 at bats. That brings up Hunter Goodman. Phillies playing the infield back with nobody out. So 1-8, and that's a strikeout. Hunter Goodman out on strikes. Here's Ryan McMahon. Infield is still back with a 4-1 lead. That is a 2-3, and that's a fly ball center field B, ? So it's potential sacrifice fly. However, Rojas is a -3 arm. So it'd be 14 + 2 is a 16, -3 is a 13. Do they want to risk it 1-13 to score him on a sac fly? Man, or do you depend on Doyle to get a hit in his at bat coming up? Might take some thinking here. 1-13, you add 2, it's a 15, but the -3 is actually a 12. So that makes it even worse. So I think 60% chance. Well, you know what? Doyle doesn't have a 60% chance of getting a hit, so I think we're going to send him anyway. Probably get thrown out on double play, but you got it. 60% chance is better than what the next batter is going to have. So a 1-12, it's a sac fly. 13-20, it's a fly to center double play. And it's a sac fly. So third base coach made the right move this time. Sacrifice fly from McMahon. Cuts the lead to 4-2. Of course, if you get thrown out, then you look silly. Fortunately for the Rockies, it worked out. So here's Brenton Doyle, 2 outs and the base is cleared. 5-4, and that's a ground ball third base X. We're looking at Boehm. He's a 3-E-8. 3-14, he'll get to it. E8, third base, E8. The errors are 3, and then 15 through 18. And he will make the play easily to end the inning. But the Rockies do counter the 4 with 2 of their own. Cut the lead in half, but after 1 inning, it's 4-2 Phillies. Palmquist back out. Will face the only guy not to bat in the inning. That's Johan Rojas, center fielder. Whoa, that thing flipped right out of there, didn't it? That's a 4-9, and that's another walk for Palmquist. I mean, I'm telling you, 4 walks already. It's ridiculous. And Rojas is going to try to steal. Needs a 3 through 6 to get the good lead. And he does not get it, so he will hold. Here's Trey Turner. 2-8 against the lefty. That's a single to right field. Rojas runs at a 16, being held as a 15, but to go from first to third on the ball to right field, you add 2, makes it a 17. Moniak's a +1 arm for an 18. So he will make third base. They will throw the cutoff man to keep Turner at first base. So runners are at the corners with nobody out, and now Turner will look to try to get a good lead. And this time he does, 2 through 5. So it's a 19, being held as a 17 plus the 5. So they're going to let him steal and hold the ball. It was really the only way to get him out is on a 20, so there's no odds in that. So now we got second and third with nobody out for Bryce Harper. Rockies will play the infield in against Harper. It's a 1-5, and that's a 1-3 single. 1-3 is a single, 4-20 is a line out. And that's a 3. It's going to be a base hit for Bryce Harper. It's going to put runners on the corner. Scoring is Rojas, and the Rocky bullpen might be active early. Here comes Kyle Schwarber. And actually, Harper is going to look to get a lead. He needs a 7. Doesn't get it. He'll hold. Here's Schwarber. 6-8, and that's a single to center field. That'll score another run. Harper will, with the -3 arm of Doyle, Harper will hold at second base, but scoring is Turner. It is now 6-2, and the Rocky bullpen is loosening. It may be a bullpen day the rest of the way here. And it looks like Mr. Bird, Jake Bird, loosening in the bullpen for the Rockies. Palmquist on a very short leash. He'll be facing Nick Castellanos. 2-6 for Castellanos, struck him out. Second strikeout. Second strikeout for Palmquist, the one he desperately needed. Now here's Realmuto. 1-9, and that's a strikeout there. So he comes back and strikes out the next 2. And so now he's got to face off against Alec Bohm, who took him for a grand slam his first time. Clutch situation for Bohm. And again, he loses the 2 hits, 1-2 and 1-12. Good evening, Mr. Frog. It's a 1-6, and he struck him out. So Palmquist amazingly comes back and strikes out the side after giving all of that up. That's a weird way to finish. But that's going to be it for Palmquist. They've seen enough. He goes 2 innings, gives up 6 runs. They're all earned. He's going to walk 4, strike out 4, and give up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. And Jake Bird will be coming in to pitch for the Rockies. He's a -3, which makes him a -2. So Bird will come in the top of the third. So a very short outing for Palmquist, just the 2 innings. Due up now for the Rockies. Whoops, sorry about that. Due up now for the Rockies is going to be right fielder Mickey Moniak, the Maniac. He'll be followed by Farmer and Martini. 6-6, and that's going to be a base on balls. First walk issued by Walker. And down 6-2, I don't think they're going to try anything as far as stolen bases, but maybe they might because they need to do something to get their offense going. Gets the lead to be a 1-14, so I think that's pretty good odds. 1-14, but he needs a 2 through 5. Doesn't get the lead anyway, so it's a moot point. All right, here's Farmer. 6-8, and that's a ground ball, second base X. Second baseman is Sosa, but he's responsible for holding Moniak, so he becomes a 4E6. He was a 3E6, but with the right-handed batter up, he is in charge of holding the runner at first. So it's going to be a 4E6. See if that makes a difference. 4-14. 4-14 is a G2, same with 3, so it really didn't make any difference in this case. He's an E6. It's a G2. They'll get the lead runner. E6, he's got to avoid 3, 16, and 18, which he does. So it'll be a 4-6 fielder's choice with Farmer, the new runner at first base. I'm going to bring up the designated hitter, Nick Martini. I've had this dice tray for a while now. Much quieter and I just think it's better myself, but that's, personal opinion, I guess. Here's Martini. 2-9 for Martini, and that's a 1-5 double. 6-20 will be a single. 2 stars either way. And that's a 5. It'll be a double for Martini. So we got a double Martini. How about that? How many Strat games can you play that you say you saw a double Martini or had a double Martini? We just got one, a double Martini. Second and third, 1 out for Adel Amador. Infield for the Phillies again, playing back with a 4-run lead, but that's a 1. So wild pitch chance on Walker is only a 1. No wild pitch. Here's Amador. 4-5. Switch hitter batting left. It's a ground ball shortstop X. This will score the run for sure. Turner's a 2E10. 2 and a 4. That could be interesting. 2 and a 4 is a G3. They weren't holding anybody on. So the G3 means the runner's going to be out, but everybody else is going to advance. Assuming there's no error, he's an E10. And 16, 17, and 18 he's got to avoid, which he does. So it's going to be a 6-3 ground out. Martini will go to third. And scoring is Farmer to cut the lead to 6-3. RBI ground out by Amador. 2 away, and that will send up Jordan Beck with Martini at third as a 1. Another wild pitch chance, but no wild pitch. And Beck in the clutch. 1-6, he loses a hit. So he does it on 3-2 as well. That's a 3-7, and he strikes out. Second strikeout for Walker, but the Rockies are trying to half the Phillies. They got half the runs in each of the 2 innings, and they trail it 6-3. And now the new pitcher, Jake Bird for the Rockies. He is going to take over, and he'll be facing Sosa, Wilson, and Rojas. Hello, Dr. D. 4-5. Struck him out. Bird starts out with a strikeout. Here's Weston Wilson. 1-5. Struck him out. So the Phillies, as a team, have struck out 5 batters in a row. 5 of their batters in a row struck out after all this offense. Here's Rojas. 1-8, and he strikes out. So the last 6 batters for the Phillies have all struck out. Amazing after all this hitting. So we go to the bottom of the third, still 6-3. And we turn to Ezekiel Tovar. He tripled and scored his first time up. 1-5, and he will strike out. Now the strikeouts are coming in bunches. Here's Hunter Goodman. That is a 2-8, and that's another strikeout. Strikeout number 4. Brings up Ryan McMahon. He has sacrifice fly his first chance. 2-3. He's going to fly to center again, but this time nobody's on base, so it's just going to be a fly out to end the inning. So we go to the 4th. Still a 6-3 ball game. And Bird back out will face Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, and Kyle Schwarber, top of the order. 2-11, and that's a base hit ballpark single, which is going to be pretty much guaranteed. Only thing that stops it is a 20. And that is a base hit for Trey Turner. And Turner will try to get a good lead. Needs a 2 through 5 or a 12. And he does not get it, so he will hold for Bryce Harper. It's a 5-10, and that is another strikeout for Jake Bird. Brings up Kyle Schwarber. 2-9 for Schwarber, struck him out. So how about that? Out of the last 9 batters, except for Trey Turner, 8 of them have struck out. I don't think I've ever seen that in any game, period. Modern or old or anything. That's just very, very unusual. There's Nick Castellanos. That's a 5-8 and yet another strikeout. So he strikes out the side again. Jake Bird has 6 strikeouts in 2 innings. Well, his pitching's coming from all of a sudden. It's really weird. Here's Walker. Back out to face Brenton Doyle, Mickey Moniak, and Kyle Farmer. It's 1-3, and it's fly to right. Castellanos hauls it in, one away from Mickey Moniak, the Maniac. He walked his first time up. That is a 5-2. Ground ball first base X. We're looking at Harper. He's a 2E3. 216. He gets to it. E3. The only error of chances are 3, 15, and 18. And so he will get to it, and he will flip to Walker covering for out number 2. And Kyle Farmer. 110, and he grounds it to third for Alec Bohm. And that will end the inning. So all of a sudden, after 9 runs combined were scored in the first 2 innings, the next 2 innings are practically nothing. No runs and only 1 hit and 8 strikeouts in those 2 innings. It's really weird to have it just fluctuate like that, 180 degrees. All right, here's Bird. He's got a fatigue at 2, but he's only given up 1 hit, so they're going to try to get 3 innings out of him, save their bullpen some. Here's Realmuto. It's a 5-4, and that's a ballpark single check, which is, like I said, pretty much guaranteed. And it is, base hit. Realmuto needs a 7 to get the good lead. Doesn't get it. He'll hold for Alec Bohm. 3-5, and that's going to be a 1-7 triple. 8-20 is a single. And that's a single 2 stars for Alec Bohm. Now maybe Bird is starting to lose it a bit after all those strikeouts. So the Rocky bullpen again continues to loosen. In their bullpen, they have right-handed action. Zach Agnos loosening in their bullpen. Runners at the corners, nobody out for Sosa. Infield is halfway. They desperately need outs. 1-9 for Sosa. That's a ground ball second base C. That will score the run. Realmuto will score. Going to second is Bohm. It is now 7-3. 1 away. Runner at second for Weston Wilson. Hello, Jason. Good to see you. 3-7, and that's another ground ball to second, and that'll get the runner to third. So Bohm takes third with 2 outs for Johan Rojas in a clutch situation. He will gain a hit 1-7. That's a 2. Balker pass ball. We're looking at a pass ball chance on the catcher, Goodman. And his pass ball rating is only a 1. So it's not likely. And it is not. Here comes the pitch to Rojas. Whoop, that got held up. Let's redo that one. 6-5, and that is a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Tovar, 2E16. 2-7, he will get to that. That is going to be a G2. His error rating is an E16, so he has to avoid just 14 and 17. Those are the only 2 numbers he's got to avoid. And he does that just fine, and that's going to do it for Bird. He's going to go 3 innings and give up 1 run. Not a bad outing there at all for Jake Bird. He gives up 3 hits, 1 run, doesn't walk anybody, and he strikes out 6. And I don't think it's going to be Agnos coming in now. They're going to go to left-hander because they got lefties coming up. They're going to go to Ryan Rollison out of the bullpen, a lefty. He will be coming on for the Rockies in the 6th inning. Ryan Rollison, left-hander. Not very good, but he's in there. All right. So Taijuan Walker, this is his fatigue inning number 5. He's going to face Nick Martini, who doubled his first time up, had that old double martini. 3-6, and this time he will ground to short, and Turner is there, 1 away. For Adel Amador. And that is a 6-6 lefty, or switch hitter batting left. That's a walk. For Walker, that is his 2nd base on balls. And that'll bring up the top of the order in Jordan Beck. 6-9, and that's a pop out to Turner, 2 down. So it's up to Ezekiel Tovar to keep the inning going. 1-2 with a triple. 5-8, and he's going to get a base hit. That's going to score the run, most likely. Well, no, it won't because it's 2 stars. Can't score the run. So it's going to be a 1-8 double, 9-20 single. That's a double, but it's only a 2-star double. So Amador will have to stop at third. And now here's Hunter Goodman. One more base runner, and Walker will be closing in on fatigue. It's a clutch situation for Goodman. And in the clutch, he loses a hit on 3-11. That, however, is a 4-7, which is a ground ball to third to end the inning. So nothing there for the Rockies. They threaten but can't score. We go to the top of the sixth with the score 7-3. Hello, Mr. Collin. So the new pitcher, Ryan Rollison for Colorado, a left-handed relief pitcher. 1-0 with a 7.02 ERA. And he'll be facing top of the order Turner, Harper, and Schwarber. Start the top of the sixth. Phillies in front 7-3. That's a 3-6 against the lefty. That's a ground ball to short. One away for Bryce Harper. Lefty, 5-3, and that's a ballpark blast. Ballpark blast 1-9. And that is gone. Bryce Harper goes deep on the ballpark blast. Makes it an 8-3 ball game. Here's Schwarber. 3-10, and that is a ballpark single. So pretty much guaranteed to be a base hit. Schwarber brings up Nick Castellanos. 1-7, and that is a strikeout. And we go to Realmuto with 2 outs and a runner at first. JT Realmuto. That is a 4-8, and that's an in-home run, and that is gone. A 2-run shot. The 4-8 on Rollison against a right-hander. That 4-8 is a straight-up in-home run. No D20, no ballpark check needed. Realmuto goes deep, a 2-run shot. 3 runs in the inning is now 10-3. Favor of the Phillies. Here's Bohm. 5-3, and that's going to be a ballpark blast right here. 1-9. And fortunately for Rollison, it is going to be a fly to left. But 3 runs come in. And Rollison has fatigue of 2, so they're going to run him out there for the 7th as well to save that bullpen. They figure the game's pretty much a lost cause anyway. No use wearing out 8 guys in your bullpen. So here's Ryan McMahon. 5-10, and that's a ballpark single check, which is pretty much guaranteed. Base hit. And it'll bring up Brenton Doyle. That's a 6-4, and that's a fly ball center field X. We're looking at Rojas, a 2E7. 2-10, he'll get to that. 2-10 is going to be an F2, and an E7. He's got to avoid 3, 4, 15, 17, and 18. Which he does, so Rojas makes the play. 1 down for Mickey Moniak, the Maniac. And this will be the final inning for Walker, most likely. 2-11, and that's going to be a ground ball first base C. Harper will get it. Flip to Walker covering first. And going to second base is McMahon, but now there are 2 outs for Kyle Farmer. And by definition, still a clutch at bat. So that 1-7 would turn into a hit, so would 2-2. For Kyle Farmer. 5-9, though, is ground ball to Turner at short, and that's going to do it. So Taijuan Walker will go 6 innings. Give up 3 runs. A quote-unquote quality start. 2 walks. He struck out only 4. And he gave up, 1, 2, 3. I got him for 4 hits. But they've got a lot of guys in their bullpen that can use some work. And you got a huge lead, 10-3, so why not give them some work? And here's Ryan Rollison coming back out to start the top of the 7th, trying to eat some innings in this one. Trying to eat those innings. Oh, that's a leaner, but it was almost at 6, so we might as well keep it there. 5'11", and that's going to be a fly ball left field X. Looking at Beck, he's a 3E4. 3 and 18 is good. E4, the only errors are 3, 4, 15, and 18. And he will make the catch. One down for Weston Wilson. 6-6, and that's going to be a base on balls. First walk issued by Rollison. Brings up Rojas, and there's no stolen bases now. The game's out of hand. Both teams are just going to play it, station to station kind of thing. There's Rojas, 4-9. That's a ballpark blast for Rojas. On the 4-9 ballpark blast, he does have weak power, so the best he could do is a single 2 stars on a 1-9. And that is a 6. It's a single 2 stars. So runners at the corners, and Trey Turner, the batter. Infield looking for a double play. 4-6. That's going to be a single to right field. Rojas will take third. Scoring is Wilson. That'll bring up Bryce Harper. Infield once again looking for a double play. 6-4. Fly ball center field X. Doyle's a 1. 1 and a 9. Most likely a sac fly. 1 and a 9 is an F2, which is a sacrifice fly. Make sure there's no error. E3 and a 6 is no error there, so it is a sacrifice fly from Harper. To score Rojas, 2 runs are in. 2 outs for Kyle Schwarber. There's a 4-9, and that's a ground ball to first to end the inning. That will be it for Rollison. He will go 2 innings, and he will give up 5 runs, all earned. It is now 12-3. At one time, it was 6-3, but 6 unanswered by the Phillies. Have taken care of that. And Rollison departs. He will give up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. You walk 1 and strike out 1. And we're not sure who the new pitcher is going to be just yet. Let's see here. They will probably go to Angel Shavilli to come out and pitch the 8th inning. I don't think he's pitched in a while, so he needs some work. Shavilli. And the new pitcher for the Phillies. Let's see who they want to go to. They can go to pretty much anybody you want. They'll go to Joe Ross. Veteran Joe Ross. Ross was 2-1 with a 5.12 ERA. And more importantly, he can go 2 innings. So Joe Ross. If he pitches really well, I'll let him get a 3-inning save, possibly. We shall see. But he has to pitch really well to do that. He's going to face Martini, Amador, and Beck here at the 7th inning stretch of an outlandish 12-3 ball game. Martini 1-8, and that's a pop out to second base. 1 down for Amador. That is a 2-6 for Amador. Pops him up to short. So 2 pop outs in a row. And Jordan Beck 5-6, and that's a fly to center. 1, 2, 3 inning for Joe Ross. He's definitely bucking to go 3 innings. No question about it. We go to the top of the 8th, 12-3, and new pitcher Angel Shavilli for the Rockies. Angel Shavilli, 1-5, 7.06 ERA. But more importantly, he's got a fatigue of 2, so he can pitch and finish this game. And Nick Castellanos will be the first one to face him. That is a 1-2, and that's a hit by pitch. It says plus injury, but we're not doing injuries. And now the umpires have given warning because the Phillies already hit Beck to start the game. Shavilli might have been brought in just to hit Castellanos. Although Castellanos is saying, I struck out 3 times. Why are you hitting me? Why don't you hit Bryce Harper or somebody? But umpires want to make sure this doesn't get out of hand. So they're giving warnings to both benches. Here's Realmuto, 5-6. That's a double 1-6, single 7-20, and that'll be a single 2 stars. Castellanos will take third. Runners at the corners, nobody out for Alec Boehm. Infield looking for a double play. 4-5. Won't get that. That's a ballpark blast. On that 4-5, it is a ballpark blast. 1-9 for Boehm. That's a 20, so it will default to a sacrifice fly with the runner at third. Castellanos will score. It's now 13-3 Philadelphia. And that'll bring up Sosa. 4-6, and that's a strikeout for Shavigi. 2 down for Weston Wilson. And that is a 4-5, and that's going to be a ballpark blast for him. He's got normal power. 1-9. But that's a deep fly to left to end the inning. Shavigi catches a break. Phillies get a run to make it 13-3 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Not exactly a thriller in Manila, but, you know, when you play the Rockies, that's what you're going to get. So here's, if they win close games. They lose big most of the time. Here's Tovar. 6-3 for Ross. It's going to be a ballpark single, so that's, again, pretty much guaranteed, 95% chance, and they get the base hit. Tovar is actually a 100. He won't get enough at bats to try, but he's a home run away from the cycle. He's tripled, doubled, and singled, and he does have home run power. But unless they make a dramatic rally, he will not get another at bat. He won't get a 5th at bat to even try it. So here's Hunter Goodman. That is a 2-9 for Goodman. Struck him out. First strikeout for Ross, and that brings up Ryan McMahon. 4-4, and that's going to be a ground ball third base. That's Alec Boehm. 3-8. 3-9. Probably a fielder's choice, if I had to guess. 3-9. No, it's actually a G3. Runner's going to advance. E8. It's got to avoid 15 through 18, basically, which he does, but it's a fielder. It's the runner advance, so Tovar will take second base on the 5-3 ground out, and which makes this a clutch situation by definition for Doyle, and he will gain that hit on 2-8. Will Brenton Doyle. Instead, we got a 6-11, and that is a ground ball pitcher X. He's in 4-E-0, so he can't make an error. The roll, make sure there's no rare play. There's no rare play, but it's a 4. And as a 4, to check his range as a pitcher and a 4, he's got to get a 5 or higher on the D20 to make the play, and he does. So easily done for Joe Ross. Throw out Doyle to end the inning. So Ross can obviously go for that 3-inning save. Cheapest of all saves. And Shavigi back out for more punishment here in the 9th. Facing Rojas. It's a 2-7, and that is a ground ball to short for Tovar to take care of. One away for Trey Turner. 6-6, and that's a strikeout. It's a dot there, but he's not tired. It's a second strikeout. And that brings up Bryce Harper. 2 for 4, home run single and a sac fly. 4-6, and he grounds to second to end the inning. So Shavigi, he'll go 2 innings. He'll give up the 1 run, and he does it on just the 1 hit. Didn't walk anybody, but he did hit a batter and struck out 2. So the Phillies are going to end up with 13 runs, and they're going to do it on 14 hits. Pretty good outing offensively if you are the Phillies. So we'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Joe Ross back out. Get that cheap save. They face Moniak, Farmer, and Martini here in the bottom of the 9th. That's a 6-10. Ground ball shortstop X, we're looking at Turner. He's a 2E10. 2 and a 6, he'll get to that. 2 and a 6 is a G2, but there's a pound sign, but nobody's on base, so he's not and the infield's not in, so no, that's irrelevant. E10, he's got to avoid 16, 17, and 18, which he does. Good play for Trey Turner. 1 away. And that'll bring up Kyle Farmer. I don't know why I rolled the D20. Nobody's on base. It's out of habit, I guess. 110. Ground ball to Bohm at third. 2 down for Nick Martini. That's a 3-5 for Martini. 1 to 6 is a single. 7 to 20, he lines out to Sosa to end the ball game. And he gets the base hit. How about that? Nick Martini gets a second hit in the game. We got a pinch hitter for Amador just for the heck of it. They'll bring in a pinch hitter, and it will be Michael Toglia. So Toglia will pinch hit. Switch hitter, he will pinch hit here in the 9th. Just for the heck of it. That's a 6-7, and that's a double to left field by Toglia. Double to left. Left fielder is Wilson. He's got a 0 arm. Martini's a 12. Not being held is a 13. 2 outs is a 15. 1 to 15, they will send him. And he scores. RBI double from pinch hit. RBI double from Toglia. Cuts the lead to 13-4. And now the Jordan Beck, top of the order. If he can reach, Tovar gets a chance for the cycle, but he's got to reach. 1-8, and he will reach. 1 to 5 is a home run. 6 to 20 is a double, and that's gone. Jordan Beck, a two-run home run for Jordan Beck, and that's going to be it for Joe Ross. We're not going to let him get a cheap save after all this. He had his chance, but I think he just got tired, and he's going to have to come out. He's going to go 2 2/3 with Joe Ross. He's going to give up 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, 3 runs. It's now 13-6. And let's see, no walks and a strikeout. So let's see who's going to come in for the Phillies to try to finish things off. And it looks like it's going to be Carlos Hernandez, right-hander. Carlos Hernandez would eventually get traded to Cleveland, but right now it's with the Phillies. 1-0, 6.23 ERA. So Carlos Hernandez on to face Tovar, and Tovar has his 5th at bat. He's got a chance to get a home run, but he's got to get either a ballpark blast on 212 or a 2-8 on his card, or there's a possibility here on a 4-5 here. So only about 3 places he can get a ballpark home run or a home run period, but at least he has a chance. So you're saying there's a chance. So Hernandez now facing Tovar. We get a 3-5, and it's going to be a base hit for Tovar. It won't be a home run. It'll be a single. So Tovar gets the single. He ends up 4 for 5 on the game. And here's Hunter Goodman. So Rockies at least putting up a little bit of a fight here in the 9th. 3-8, and that's a ground ball to second, and that'll do it. So Carlos Hernandez gets the final out. Does give up a hit, nothing else. Rockies pick up 3 in the 9th, but not nearly enough. It's 13-6, your final. Rockies do get 9 hits overall. Winning pitcher is Taijuan Walker. The loser is Palmquist. So there you go. Rockies now dropped to 16-33. They're still 8 games better than what they were, because they were in real world. They were 8-41. I'm sorry, 8-40. I'm sorry, 8-41 after this. So they're still holding serve, staying 8 games ahead, but we only got 9 more games left. 50 through 50 games, 50 through 59. I guess that'd be 10 games left. So, let's see, 50, 51, 50, 51, 52, 5. Yeah, 10 games left out of the 59. So we're on the home stretch, and we need to get 4 wins out of these last 10 games. So I need the Rockies to go 4-6 to get that 20-win plateau. Of course, we already demolished the 9 wins they got in real world. Double that would be 18 wins. So we need to go 2-8 at worst to get the 18 wins. So you would think they could do that. However, like I said, they got a tough schedule. They got one more with the Phillies, who are really tough. Then they got the Yankees coming in for 3 starting this weekend. So nothing guaranteed there either. And let me see who they play after that. See if they have any bit of a break in that schedule to try to help them out. Probably not. Let's see, after the Yankees, but they go to Chicago to play the Cubs, and then they go to the Mets. So they got 3 3-game series. So it actually is 9 games left. They got 10 games left, but 1 more with the Phillies. We got 1 more with the Phillies, and then 3 3-game series to finish it out. They host the Yankees for 3, and then they hit the road for the last 6. 3 in Wrigley Field and 3 in Citi Field in New York. And that'll finish up their season at 59 games, which is what I committed to. Let's play 59 games and try to do better than their 9-50, which we've already blown out of the water. When they were a few games back, I was thinking they could get 20 wins. I was hoping they could get 20 wins, but that's not looking likely now, particularly with that schedule they've got. So probably going to try to get to be 18-41. I think that's my new goal, is to be 18-41 when this is all over, which means we have to go 2-8. 2-8. That's the goal. Go 2-8 in the last 10 games. That is the goal. Not exactly a high goal, but you're dealing with a pitiful team. You got to be realistic. So that's what I'm going for in a realistic setting. So we can look forward to tomorrow night, which will be the final game of the Phillies series. And in that one, we have Ranger Suarez, a lefty for Philly, against German Marquez for the Rockies. That'll be the final game of the homestand and final game against the Phillies, obviously. Then they'll hit the charter and head to not the final game of the homestand, because the Yankees come in for 3. Not sure why I mentioned that, but in the Yankee series, they actually won the first Yankee game, so we got to win that one. That first Yankee game, it was Clark Schmidt for the Yankees and Tanner Gordon for the Rockies, and they won that game actually 3-2 real world. So got some stuff to do there. Yep, 2-8. That's what we need to get our 18 wins. And that doubles what they did in real world, because they were 9-50 real world in 59 games. So that's going to do it from here. Tomorrow morning, back to the 1987 replay. We'll be at Yankee Stadium for the Twins and the Yankees. It'll be Mike Smithson against Rick Rhoden, the game number 577, the next to last game of the July 8th schedule. And we'll see, who wins that. I have already selected my All-Stars for 1987 for the American League based on their replay results. And I'll be putting that out probably sometime next week, or maybe over the weekend. I'm not sure how I want to do that. But I will announce who the All-Star team is going to be, and there will be an All-Star game against the actual National League All-Stars that will take place at the Oakland Coliseum. And we'll let the 1987 American League Replay All-Stars take on the 1987 National League actual All-Stars. And we'll see how that turns out. Might be kind of fun. You never know. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you all have a great rest of your evening, what's left of it. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and we'll see you all down the road.